Yo, what's going on, guys? Chadley here, and a lot of you are having a ton of trouble with the new Guardian Takedown, myself included, but I was able to get through it solo after a couple of tries. It was pretty difficult, but if you guys practice it enough, you guys should be good to go. And I just wanted to share the build that I used for it, and it is our Wheel of Pain Amara, but we're using completely different weapons. Now, in my actual run, I had this hyper focus here, I had a radiation hyper focus, and then a corrosive hyper focus here, and then a shock monarch and a corrosive monarch. Ideally, I'm going to actually replace this corrosive hyper focus because it really doesn't do well on the bosses. That's the reason I was using it, but it doesn't end up doing too well. So now I'm going to be using a hyper focus, radiation, or cryo would probably be best, but radiation is definitely a way to go. But then we're going to have the three main elements of monarch with consecutive hits. This is basically the only weapon I've been able to reliably kill things here in the Guardian Takedown. These enemies are so beefy. At the time of recording this, it might actually be bugged. I don't know if they're actually supposed to be this beefy, but it's something we're going to have to live with for today. So definitely get your hands on the main monarchs. You don't need the fire one. It's mainly just there for those trash frogs or whatever those are at the start of the takedown. You guys will know what I'm talking about. But you really only need the shock and corrosive one. Those are the main two. This will get rid of all the guardians and the bosses for you. And then I like to use the transformer. You can also use an old god. These guys don't really shoot bullets, so the transformer isn't really the greatest option, but I just like it in case they do shock damage, and then I can heal off of it. So you guys can decide which one of those two you want to use. And then I just use It's Piss with bonus corrosive. Also, I should mention I use bonus shock on the transformer. I usually use those two combos for the Guardian Takedown because 90% of the enemies are weak to those two elements. And then we're using Phase Zerker, same as normal, and then the Pearl. Really, everything is exactly the same as our Wheel of Pain build, except for our guns. And then our skill tree is right here. This is our orange, and then we're going to go 3 points into personal space here in green. And then our blue tree looks like this down to avatar. I like do harm, especially because a lot of these boss fights, there's a ton of enemies always spawning around them. So you can use do harm to your advantage to do more damage to the boss. And then I like to use soul sap for our augment, and then obviously ties that bind. And then I just keep it as the shock element. I don't do fire or corrosive. And then our modifiers, I like to use speed demon, Healy Avenger, Laser Fair, and Roguelite. Now Roguelite kinda sucks, but I think everything else in that very hard slot for Amara sucks even more. Once you guys just kind of learn the patterns of the takedown, you shouldn't have too much trouble with Roguelite. Yeah, if you guys are familiar with Wheel of Pain, you guys know this isn't that much different, but let me just show you guys what you should be expecting to kill things in terms of like the time it takes to kill them. And then, because it's really not that quick regardless, there's nothing in the game that is killing these enemies super fast. The main thing you're going to want to do is just focus on getting them in groups so you can get indiscriminate to go, and also use ties that bind to the best of your advantage. So obviously like these super little guys, not any trouble by themselves. And then like these manticores, just go ahead and throw out your matching elements monarch and you should be good to go. I forgot to put these to our bipod modes, but now we're good to go. And as long as you guys are matching your elements, you should be perfectly fine. Having the fire one definitely helps for these Vanda guys, because otherwise they can take just a little bit of time to kill. But just use these monarchs and you should be good to go. Hopefully this will change in the future and we can use some other weapons, but for right now, definitely just get your hands on the monarchs that you can. See, as you saw right there, you could see how much more damage I was doing when there was an enemy close by. That's kind of just the key of doing this in a timely manner, so you don't have to waste all of your ammo shooting all your AR bullets at these guys. Just make sure there's people close by and you'll be doing way more damage. As you can see right there, we just flew through that manticore. But then we're going to finish up this manta. And then with the hyper focus, this is really only going to be used on these trash mobs when there's enemies close by. You can see right there, like we can fly through them, but then once all of the nearby enemies are gone, it slows down to a halt. So this is just a good little backup in case you guys are running low on Monarch ammo or just have a ton of trash mobs to kill, because you really do need to save that AR ammo. Yeah, guys, if hopefully this build helps you out, I will have a save file for it in the description. It has gotten me through the entire takedown. I'll be uploading the whole run here very shortly, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you want to see that. But otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.